Articulation, red line pegged, I'm writing them out. That maximum tolerance, syllables, skipping the limit of pronunciation. Penetration, warping, and making the limit decision in tongue. Rambling and Microsoft, substantive cadence, confusing, correction, I'm forcing clarity. Just about my hustle, conditions, consonants, tearing against each other, sparks flying off, collisions, the jaw, locking overdrive, no downshift available, the beat still moving, so I keep pushing sound. That's the point we're supposed to hold together. You hear danger, I hear efficiency. Every phrase threatened with collapse, but never crossing me, cause speed is maintaining. Stretching integrity by sheer momentum alone. Articulation, red lines stay exact. They drift and blur, I stay intact. Too close to break, but I adapt. I hold my tone at the edge of snap. Articulation, red line eyes ahead. They slow for safety, I don't step fast, don't scare me, even red. I keep it clean when I'm sent, yeah. Still red line, no throttle, back articulation, screaming warnings, ignore the malfunctioning on bottles. Stability, every syllable, a gamble that pays out in velocity. Gets uncompensated, mid-worry, routing muscle memory in real time, just to keep output, uninterrupted fatigue, irrelevant failure, delayed indefinitely. I'm skating the edge, so long it becomes on the burst, doesn't leave it sustains. Critical pressure without release until the silence will start to distort. And even then, I don't lift, I lean further and letting danger sharpen the delivery. Some those and red lines still precise. They fall apart, I stabilize, fast at the edge, no sacrifice. I live with speech and danger slice. Articulation, red line, final run. They feel the limit, I become safe speaking. This
no comment, no prayer. Into the verse and remove every chance to breathe. Every thought change to the next one relentlessly. I don't pause to repent, to reflect. I just push language forward like a runaway engine. Articulation grinding non-stop. Tongue never lifting off the gas, constant smashing in the vowels. Wording phrases together into one continuous surge. You're waiting for a break that never arrives, because I erase the idea of mercy from the syntax. Every word dragging the next one behind it like a hook chain. The beat struggling the surface under the weight of uninterrupted delivery. I don't talk in lines, I'm talking floods, and once it starts, it doesn't stop.
comment, no prayer, stay focused. Stay slipping gaps, I don't notice. No space to breathe, I stay composed. I ride the rush till it's over. No comment, no prayer, eyes live. They beg for rest, I do not. Fast and clean when pressure not. I hold the line non-stop.
Still no comma, still no prayer. The sentence expanding like it's alive. Feeding on its own momentum, articulation burning through fatigue, but never disconnecting the jaw. Like a tongue adapting, rerouting effort just to maintain speed. Choking on the length of the thought. I'm extending it further, stacking claws on claws with no intention of release. This is endurance warfare, not a sprint. Every second without pause, sharpening the edge, the verse, refusing resolution, refusing closure, refusing relief. Until the only thing left standing is velocity itself.
No comment, no prayer, still clear. They fall apart when pace severe. I don't break when the end not near. Control my voice till silence fear. No comment, no prayer, final run. They need a stop, I need none. Say speed, need a rescue run. I close it out, still going strong.
Starvation protocol initiated, lungs ignored, entirely cadence takes the syllables flooded faster. Justify articulation, tongue pushing it tight, pressure rising, blood irrelevant, because momentum mode brings survival. I'm stacking phrases with no recovery window, every consonant grinding into the next one. Vowels thinning just to fit more data per second. You searching for a pause, I remove the constant, entirely versus one. Continuous advance, no retreat, no inhale, just for emotion, verbal mass, crushing the beat until it buckle under sustained delivery. I don't gasp, override the instant. I speak through deprivation.
Restoration protocol, stay locked in. Major bomb play, I flinch. Parallel, but I still win. Control the rush, dominate the wind. Restoration protocol, eyes ahead. They need a break. I play fast, don't feel misled. I stay precise when the breath is dead.
protocol, I to do that. Climbing articulation, degrading but never slowing. The tongue compensating, rerouting effort around failing systems lips. T-jaw sharing the load just to keep velocity constant. I'm talking on fume syllables colliding under pressure, but cadence remains absolute. You buffering mentally, trying to keep up with density. I'm already stacking the next. Waste starvation, sharpening, focus, stripping excess, leaving no speed and intent. Every bar comes down to deficit, but I refuse to leave it first, doesn't end. Just exhaust whatever's left.
Yeah, restoration protocol, still in control. They fade in smoke, I hold the ropes with pressure, never fold. I speak through fire, ice cold soul. Restoration protocol, final state. They stop too late, I accelerate, since we need it. Too late, I close it out at max burn rate, yeah. No silence allowed, I erase the gap between sounds and word. Every syllable into a single advancing word. The tongue never lifts the jaw, never unlocks articulation, pouring non-stop like a valve jammed open. Any hint of quiet treated as a fault and overridden. Immediately I change phrases so tight the air can't sneak through consonant. So the chicken vowels out of the way just to keep the stream unbroken. You waiting for a breath, I out the concept. There is a pressure chamber where sound replaces oxygen and momentum replaces mercy. The beat tried to blink, I pin it over, continue with the lyric, cutting every pocket into silence, has nowhere to land. No silence allowed, keep it live. They search for space, I don't comply. Every moment that I drive, I hear the noise, I won't subside. No silence allowed, stay alive. They need a pause, I just survive. Fast and clean inside the crowd. I keep it for no quiet now. Still no silence, every micro gap instantly patched articulation, self-healing mid-run the mouth, acting like a generator feeding in its own output, back into itself to prevent dropouts. I'm layering sound on sound on sound until the waveform thickens and the room vibrates with constant presence. You buffering, begging for a break, I enter by double in the flow. Had it in zero, refusing relief, the verse becomes a living current that never drops to zero. I don't in lines, I overlap them, I don't finish thoughts, I stack them until quiet is fully displaced and all that remains is sustained verbal occupation. No silence allowed. Take the quiet counteract. Every gap sealed, every crack. I keep it moving full attack. No silence allowed, final say. They hush the room, I overplay.
Hey, yo, plays that with bad that shit. Yeah.
Jaw overheat warning flashing, but ignored. I clamp down on the hinge and force articulation through rising friction. Enamel grinding against tempo. The mouth locked in high RPM with no cooldown. Protocol consonants collide, sparking ricochet vowel shaped inner. Just clear band with pressure climbing, but get it move. I don't need to post it. Keep beating syllables and lyrical words. Stacked up and super. The beat is a buckle while I keep pouring uninterrupted verbal mass until heat becomes momentum and momentum becomes law.
And momentum becomes law. Overheat warning, still I'm calm. They feel the burn, I stay strong. Pressure high, but my tone stay low. I don't say no on the line. Overheat warning, eyes ahead. They bite too hard, I stay sad. Last don't scare me, I don't sweat. Control the heat till the warning's right.
Heat saturation, climbing articulation, operating past tolerance threshold. Micro tremors and drums, absorb by rhythm redistribution. Some compensating, lips assistant, teeth. I'm talking the same noise, pain distortion. But the cadence remains surgical. You hear fatigue, I hear conditioning. This is burning, I break down. Every second under load for the mechanism. I refuse to throttle, I refuse to vent. I stack more speed on the heat there in the system. To fail, first the verse never releases. It only tightens until the warning stops blinking and it becomes permanent.
Overheat warning, still precise. They melt down quick, I stabilize. Fast under fire. Overheat warning, final test. They crack and quit, I Hey, yeah, fuck that black. Hey. Last breath, loop, lock. I take a one inhale and refuse to spend it. I recycle the same oxygen through an endless sentence. Articulation, chained to itself with no exit ramp. The tongue, feeding no momentum, the jaw clamps. Steady as the flow keeps circling back on its own. Exhaust every syllable, borrowing from the same breath. Stretch, thinner and thinner, but never step. The velocity keeps it alive. I don't pause to replenish. I repeat the deficit for phrases overlapping. Tell the hell like I'm real. You waiting for the exhale, I contributed it in a proportion. The first coil's tied to each rotation. Louder than zero, faster until it becomes unnecessary and sound becomes circulation. Last breath, loops, they compose. They gasping full, I blow. One breath stretch till it holds. I keep it tight on overload. Yeah, 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 yeah. Last breath, loop, eyes locked in. Just spin, never thin. I ride the loop to the end. Yeah, still looping the last breath. No compression, take articulation, sustained by inertia alone. The sentence chasing its own tail, compressing time with every lap. The tongue making micro adjustments to survive the choke point. Vowels, rushing consonants, order to maintain. We gotta know that we can't escape the repetition. I don't finish the thought, I'll re-enter it again. Faster than B4, stacking revolution till the room feels sealed. The service of resolve, it sustains a closed circuit with silence can't intrude. And breath never leaves, it just keeps turning. Yeah, yeah. Last breath, loop still exact. They lose air, I counter her. Spin it tight, never crack. I keep control on the track. Yeah, 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 yeah. Last breath, loop, final frame. They break the chain, I breathe. Say, the loop in the flame. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Eu Santa Manico, man.
Come to the cascade, don't lock. They lose control, I stay ready. Burning out quick, I don't let it. That I just think,
Should I my T cascade initiating micro failure, stacking articulation, slipping and compensating, and slipping again, the tongue burning but never disengaging. Every rapid movement amplified. Fatigue, chaining in more fatigue, like a runaway reaction. Now I'm pause to reset motive control of the error propagating, turning into dust. Running against the speed, never dropping, no resistance rising. Strain, I hear escalation, the verse feeding on exhaustion, accelerating. Because stopping would mean collapse, so I keep pressing, flooding the channel with relentless verbal mass, letting the cascade spread unchecked.
Tongue fatigue, cascade, burning out quick, I don't let it. I ride the strain, never sweaty. Tongue fatigue, cascade, eyes locked. They feel the drag, I do not. As the pain to muscles knock. I keep it clean when others drop.
Deepening articulation, degraded but adaptive. The tongue rerouting pathways, recruiting jaw lips, teeth to share the low fatigue. No longer a problem, but a fuel source. Stream is fire, adding torque every tremor, sharpening momentum. You're waiting for breakdown. I deny it by refusing to slow down. The verse becomes a stress chamber where exhaustion multiplies, but output remains constant. Breath forgotten, recovery postponed indefinitely. I don't escape the cascade. I accelerate inside it until the whole system vibrates at speed and nothing exists outside the house.
Tongue fatigue, cascade, still exact. They tap out fast, I counteract. They pain don't bend me, that impact. I keep my phone when nerves crack. Tongue fatigue, cascade, final wave. They beg for rest, I misbehave. Say speed, need comfort, too safe. I end it moving through the ache. Tongue fatigue, cascade. It lets me roll, I stay ready. Burning out quick, I don't let it. I ride the strain, never sweaty.
Panic tempo, I stay centered. They lose control, I enter. Heart rate high, but my tone never splinter. I ride the field, keep it tempered. Panic tempo, like eyes wide. They drown in stress, I glide. Fast don't shake me, I decide. I keep my calm at a lethal stride. Still lock, calm at a lethal stride. Still lock, no release. Valve, no slow down. Articulation, sync to fight or fly. Reflex the tongue, respond. I'm the tired, the flow, feedback, loop, feed anxiety, feeding velocity, people anxiety, feeding anxiety. Treating anxiety, but cadence remains racing straight. I don't spiral, I stabilize. I redline, reverse the control, don't emergency. Where every screen stop emotion overrides. Instant, I don't escape the panic. I weaponize it, converting fear into sustained emotion until the temple itself starts feeling. And the tempo not so clean. They crack under fear, I stay keen. Heart on fire, but voice serene. I dominate stress in between. And the tempo, final phase. They reason doubt, I accelerate. Say speed, break nerves, check the tape. I close it out, a panic, rate. And the tempo lock still clean. And the tempo lock stay centered. And the tempo lock final phase. Yeah. And the tempo lock panic rate. And the tempo lock day. And the tempo lock
Overheat warning, flashing but ignored. I clamp down on the hinge and force articulation through rising friction. Enamel grinding against tempo, the mouth locked in high RPM with no cool down. Protocol consonants collide, sparking ricochet. Vowel shaved, then it's just a clear band with pressure climbing, but it's a move. Not only ease on coast, I keep feeding syllables into a furnace that never vents you. Waiting for relief, I deleted that option. Every phrase talk loaded, every bar another degree. How the BB feels in the bucket while I keep pouring and interrupted verbal mass until heat becomes momentum. Momentum becomes law.
overheat burning. I stay strong, pressure high, but my tone stay loud. I slow down when alarms talk, overheat warning. Eyes ahead, they fight too hard. I stay set,
Heat saturation, climbing articulation, operating past tolerance thresholds, micro tremors in the jaw, absorbed by rhythm, redistribution, tongue, compensating the strain, noise, pain, distortion, but the cadence remains surgical. You hear fatigue, I hear condition. This is burning, I break down every second under load. Reforge the mechanism, I refuse to throttle, I refuse to vent. I stack more speed on the heat, daring the system to fail. The first never really sees the until the warning starts blinking and becomes permanent.
They melt down quick, I stabilize, that's the fire, optimize. I know my line, it match the bite. Overheat warning, final test, they cracking quick. I progress, say speed, need comfort, reassess. I close it out with the jaw still pressed,
Down, take me on the beat.
Breath starvation protocol, initiated lungs ignored entirely. Cadence takes command, syllables flooding faster than oxygen. Conducts by articulation, running on deficit tongue. Pushing through tightening chest, pressurizing but irrelevant because momentum outdrinks survival. I'm stacking phrases with no recovery window. Every consonant, grinding into the next one vowel standing just to fit more data per second. You searching for pause. I remove the concept entirely. The verses one continuous advance, no retreat, no inhale, just forward motion. Verbal mass, crushing the beat until it buckle under. Sustain the delivery. I don't gasp, I override the instinct. I speak through deprivation and let speed explain everything.
Breath starvation protocol, stay locked in. They choke on pace, I don't flinch. No air left, but I still win. Control the rush, dominate the wind.
Yeah.
Pre-starvation protocol, eyes ahead. They need a break, I don't beg. Fast don't fear me, fear misled.
Yeah.
I stay precise when breath is dead.
Still running the protocol, oxygen debt. Climbing articulation, degrading but never slowing the tongue. Compensating, rerouting, effort around. Failing systems, lips, teeth, jaw. Sharing the load just to keep velocity constant. I'm talking on fumes, syllables colliding under pressure, but cadence remains absolute. You buffering mentally, trying to keep up with density. I'm already stacking the next wave. Starvation, sharpening focus, stripping excess. Leaving only speed and intent. Every bar compounds a deficit, but I refuse relief. The verse doesn't end, it just exhausts whatever's left.
Breath starvation protocol, still in control. They fade in smoke, I hold the road. Fast with pressure, never fold. I speak through fire, ice cold soul. Breath starvation protocol, final state. They stop to live, I accelerate. Say speed, need air, too late. I close it out at max burn rate. La 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 la.
Last breath loop locked, I take one. Inhale and refuse to spend it. I recycle the same oxygen through an endless sentence. Articulation chained to itself with no exit ramp. The tongue feeding on momentum. The jaw clamps steady as the flow keeps circling back on its own exhaust. Every syllable borrowing from the same brush, stretched thinner and thinner but never snapping. Cause velocity keeps it alive. I don't pause to replenish, I rework deficit. Forward phrases overlapping, tail to head like a loop reel. You waiting for the exhale, I converted it into propulsion. The verse goes tighter, each rotation louder, denser, faster, until breathing becomes unnecessary and sound becomes circulating. Last breath loop, stay composed, they gasping forward. I close, one breath stretch till it holds. I keep it tight on overload. Last breath loop, eyes locked in. They need air, I recycle wind. Control the spin, never thin. I ride a loop till the end. Last breath loop, still looping the last breath, no fresh intake. Articulation sustained by inertia alone. A sentence chasing its own tail, compressing time with every left. The tongue making micro adjustments to survive the choke point. Vowels, ration consonants, whether to maintain pressure. The beat caught in orbit, can't escape the repetition. I don't finish the thought, I re-enter it again. Faster than before, stacking revolutions until the room feels sealed. The thread resolve, it sustains a closed circuit where silence can't intrude and breath never leaves it. Just keeps turning. Last breath loop, still exact. They lose air, I counteract. Spin it tight, never crack. I keep control on the track. Last breath loop, final frame. They break the chain, I remain. Safe speed, needs air, same claim. I end the loop in the flame. No silence allowed. I erase the gas between sounds and weld every syllable into a single advancing wall. The tongue never lifts the jaw, never unlocks articulation. Point on top of the valve jammed open in the hand and quiet, treated as a fall and over. Get rid of immediately. I chain phrases so tight that air can't sneak in. Chicken vowels out of the way. Keep the stream broken. You waiting for what's left to outlaw. The concept of verse is a pressure chamber where sound replaces oxygen and momentum replaces mercy. The beat tries to blink. I pin it open with continuous delivery, flooding every pocket until silence has nowhere to land. No silence allowed, keep it loud. They search for space, I don't comply. Every moment feel that drive, I rule the noise. No silence allowed, stay loud. They need a pause, I disavow. Fast and clean inside the crowd, I keep it full, no quiet now. Still no silence, every micro gap instantly past articulation. Self-healing, live running out, acting like a generator feeding its own out. Put back into itself to prevent dropouts. I'm layering sound until the waveform thickens in the room. I break with constant presence. Many begging for a breakout, it's about doubling the flow. Tightness a heavier refusing relief, the rest becomes a living current that never drops to zero. I don't end lines, I overlap them. I don't finish thoughts, I stack them. When so quiet is fully displaced, and all that remains is sustained verbal occupation. No silence allowed, still exact. They fade to quiet, I counteract. Every gap's at every crack, I keep it moving, full attack. No silence allowed, final say. They hush the room, I overplay. Say space,
fatigue, cascade initial. Micro failure, stacking articulation, slipping and compensating, slipping again. The tongue burning, but never dissing, judging every rapid movement, amplifying the next one. Fatigue, chaining in more fatigue like a runaway reaction. I don't pause to reset, motor control. I let the error propagate and turn it into thought syllables. Grind against one muscle, fiber speed, never drop it. Only resistance rising. You hear strain, I hear escalation. The verse feeding on exhaustion, accelerating me to stop it with me, collect. So I keep pressing, flooding the channel with relentless verbal mass, letting the cascade spread unchecked.
Yeah, tongue fatigue, cascade, still steady. They lose control, I stay ready. Burning out quick, I don't let it. I ride the strain, never sweaty. Tongue fatigue, cascade, eyes locked. They feel the drag, I do not. Fast through pain till muscles knock. I keep it clean when others drop.
Cascade deepening, anticipation, raising, adapting, rerouting pathways, recruiting, jolly, keeping share the load. Fatigue no longer a problem, but a few source every misfire, adding torque, every tremor, sharpening momentum, you waiting for breakdown, I deny it. By refusing, slow down, the verse becomes a stress chamber where exhaustion multiplies, but output remains constant, breath forgotten. Recovery postponed. finally cascade. Accelerate inside it until the whole system vibrates at speed and nothing exists outside the motion.
Fatigue cascade, still is right. They tell how fast I counteract. Pain don't bend me, I keep my phone when nerves crack. Fatigue cascade, on the way. Stay back for rest, I misbehave. Safe speed, me comfort to safe. I ended moving through the air.
Articulation, red line, peg, I'm right in the mouth, the maximum tolerance. Syllable scraping the limit, the pronunciation thin and stretching. Weapon under heat, but never disengaging the tongue. Vibrating micro slip, stacking but cadence, refusing correction. I'm forcing clarity to survive in hostile conditions. Each other's bars, flying off collisions. The jaw locked in overdrive, me down, shit developable. So I can't sound past the power. It's supposed to hold together, you hit danger. I hear the efficiency of the but never crossing because speed is maintained. Structure and integrity by sheer momentum alone. Articulation, red line, stay exact. They drifting blood right, stay exact. So perfect break, but I adapt. I hold my tone at the edge of snap. Articulation, red line, eyes ahead. It's over safety, I don't step. Fast don't scare me, even red. I keep it clean. Where limits end, yeah. Ay, still red like no throttle back. Articulation screaming warnings, ignore the malfunction. Power stability, every syllable a gamble that pays out in velocity. The tongue compensating the word, reroute a muscle memory in real time. Just to keep output uninterrupted, fatigue and relic, failure delayed indefinitely. I'm skating the edge, so long it becomes home. The first doesn't beat me sustained. Critical pressure without release until the sound is so started getting slow. And even then, I don't live, I lean further in, letting danger sharpen the delivery instead of dulling it. Articulation, red line, still precise. They fall apart, I stabilize. Fast at the edge, no sacrifice. I live with speech and danger slides. Articulation, red line, final run. They fear the limit, I become. Say speed can't live this close wrong. I am the red, still strong.
Velocity without clarity. Velocity without clarity. I'm in precision, let momentum drive articulation. Accelerating faster than comprehension can anchor it. Words flying detached from meaning, but lock the cadence. The tongue operating on impulse alone. Syllables correct, deep reasoning when trying to get sense. I'm already past the need for it. The verse is pure forward motion, no destination, no reflection. The speed stack, no speed until the sound itself becomes forced to beat. No longer a guide, just resistance. I tear through every pocket with reckless continuity. Optional, only requirement is motion. Sustain uninterrupted.
Velocity without clarity, stay sharp. They chase the sense, I chase far. Too fast to think, still hit more. I'm moving blurred, but I caught. Velocity without clarity, don't stop. They need a reason, I don't at all. Speed my language, that's the call. I stand intact when meanings fall.
Still pushing velocity, clarity. Completely stripped articulation, repeat the proportion consonants. Legendary powers evaporating under force. You hear noise, I hear efficiency. This is not communication, it's kinetic expression. The mouth, a turbine, the jaw, a drive shaft. Spinning without pause, I don't slow to read. But since I destroy it further to remove, drag every phrase lighter, faster, more stable. The verse becomes a streak, not a statement. Perception overwhelmed, but the engine keeps screaming forward until clarity gone forever and only velocity survives.
Velocity without clarity, still clean. They lose the plot, I stay neat. Fast don't need to be seen. I cut straight through the screen. Velocity without clarity, final mode. They want sense, I want low. Say speed, need truth, I'm told. I end it fast, uncontrolled.
No comment, no prayer. I enter the verse and remove every chance to breathe. Every thought, change to the next one relentlessly. I don't pause to repent or reflect. I just push language forward like a runaway. Engine articulation, grinding outside the tongue, never lifting off the gas consonants. Smashing in the vowels, wedding phrases together into one. Continuous surge, you waiting for a break that never arrives. Because I've erased the idea of mercy from the syntax. Every word, dragging the next one behind it. Like a hook, chain of beat struggling to surface under the weight of uninterrupted delivery. I don't talk in lines, I talk in floods. And one single stop doesn't stop.
They fall. It's the people that don't know. It's the people that knows. I ride the rivers until my soul. I'm gonna put eyes, they beg for us for one night. Fast and clean with pressure, hold the line, non-stop.
Still no calm, still no prayer. The sentence is spinning like it's alive. Feeding on it some momentum. Articulation burning through fatigue, but never disconnecting the jaw, lock the tongue. Adapt and reroute an effort just to maintain. Speed you choking on the lane, but a thought I'm extending the flow. Stepping claws on claws with no intention of release. This is endurance warfare, not a sprint. Every second with a pause, sharpening the edge. Reverse confuse, illusion, evolution. Refusing closure, refusing release to the only thing left. Standing is velocity itself.
No comment, no prayer, still clear. They fall apart when they split. I don't break them on my knees. Control my voice to silence fear. No comment, no prayer, fire. They need to stop, I need none. Say speed, need rest, you wrong. I close it, I still going strong.
Syllable compression engine, engaged from crushing paragraphs into microseconds, forcing entire holds absolute. I'm packing more language per breath than lungs can tolerate. So I bypass them entirely, letting the tongue run direct. Feed every phrase, vacuum sealed, no wasted space, no padding, no mercy. Morning under lexical gravity while I keep injecting, compressing 10 frame after frame. You waiting for expansion, I collapse further, squeezing, leaning tighter until velocity alone communicate straight. I don't explain, I transmit and leave the body.
Syllable compression engine, locked in tight. They lose control. Stay precise, too much speed, but I cut it. Syllable compression engine, pressure peak. Fall apart, stay asleep, that don't scare me. I keep it sharp when systems creak,
Further compression applied, margins erased, articulation folding in on itself just to accommodate more data per second. Syntax flattened, grammar sacrifice for throughput, the mouth operating like an industrial press, stamping sound into smaller and smaller units. I'm forcing efficiency past human limits, stacking collisions until the waveform itself thickens. You buffering mentally, choking on density. I don't slow to help you decode it, double down, compressing harder, turning full sentences into half-syllable words. Just get the state of the verse doesn't breathe, it just keeps the packing. Nothing remains, the speed under impossible pressure.
syllable compression engine, still intact. The break from weight, I counteract. Fast and heavy is jack. I run this low with no slack. Syllable compression I need space, I survive. Say speed, need room, denied. I close it out, fully compressed, the light.
Hey, don't take off. Damn that shit, I can't take.
Syllable compression engine, popping crushing paragraphs into microseconds, forcing entire concept through a narrow channel. Articulation shade down to essentials. I watch the consonants working together, density spiking beyond readability. The cadence holds absolute. I'm packing more language per breath than lungs can tolerate, so I bypass them entirely, letting the tongue run direct. Feed every phrase, vacuum sealed, no wasted space, no padding, no mercy. The beat groaning under lexical gravity while I keep injecting, compressing 10 frame after frame. You waiting for expansion, I collapse further, squeezing meaning until velocity alone communicates that I don't explain. I transmit a lethal betray. Syllable compression engine,
Locked in tight, they lose control. I
stay precise. Too much beat, but I cut it right. I speak clean in the overload fight. Syllable compression engine, pressure peak, they fall apart. I stay sleep, fast don't scare me, I don't leave. I keep it sharp when systems creep.
Further compression applied, margins erased, articulation folding in on itself. Just to accommodate more data per second syntax. Flatten grammar sacrifice, to put the mouth operating like an industrial press. Stamping sound in the smaller and smaller units. I'm forcing efficiency past human limits, stacking collisions until the way from myself thickens. Just buffer mentally, choking on this. Get on flow to help you decode. I double down, compressing harder, turning full synthesis into half-syllable bursts. The end, just screaming for stable diverse. Doesn't breathe, but you just keep them backing until nothing remains but speed under impossible constant compression. Syllable compression engine.
Still intact, they break from weight. I counteract, fast and heavy, exact. I run this slow with no slack.
Syllable compression engine.
Fully compressed, alive.
Adrenaline flowing, every syllable forcing the pace upward but never releasing it. I'm trapped inside a rhythm set by anxiety itself. The beat no longer external, it's internal, pounding in my chest, driving articulation faster than comfort, faster than control, but perfectly consistent. Don't chasing a pulse that never slows, jaw clenched, breathing shallow, relevant. I don't rap on the tempo, I'm locked inside it. Every bar another spike, every phrase another surge. The burst resonant, escalated, sustains maximum stress without mercy. You feel chaos, I feel alignment with panic. Tempo locks, they center, they lose control. I enter heart race high, but my tone never gender. I ride the fake tempo, panic, tempo lock, eyes wide. They drown in stress, I glide, fast don't shake me, I decide. I keep my calm at a lethal stride. Still locked, no release valve, no slowdown. Articulation sync to fight or flight. Reflex the tongue responding to stress. Signals directly bypassing thought. The faster the panic, the tighter the flow. Feed anxiety, feed velocity. Feeding anxiety, but cadence remains razor straight. I don't spiral, I stabilize. Red lines and blurs, it becomes a controlled emergency where everything's ready to stop. But motion overrides things, I don't escape the panic. I weaponize it, convert the fear into sustained emotion until the tempo itself starts fearing me. Panic, tempo locks so clean. They crack under fear, stay keen. Heart on fire, but we're supreme. I dominate, dress in between. Panic, tempo lock, final phase. They freeze it out, I accept it. They break nerves, check the tape. I close it out and panic rage.
I'm a city with a girl, don't stop. They need a reason, I don't at all. Speak my language, that's the call. I stand to the phone. Velocity without clarity. I've been in precision and let momentum drive articulation. Accelerating faster than comprehension can anchor it. Words flying, detached from meaning, but lock the cadence. The tongue operating on impulse alone. Syllables spilling debris in the wind tunnel. Trying to catch sense, I'm already past the need for it. The verse is pure forward motion, no destination, no reflection. Just speed, stack on speed until the sound itself becomes forced to beat. No longer a guide, just resistance. I tear through every pocket with reckless continuity. Breath irrelevant, understanding optional. Only requirement is motion sustained, uninterrupted, unrepentant.
Velocity without clarity, stay sharp. They chase us inside, chase spark. Too fast to think, still hit mark. I'm moving blur, but I call. Velocity without clarity, don't stop. They need a reason, I don't at all. Speak my language, that's the call. I stand intact when meanings fall.
Yeah, still pushing velocity. Clarity completely stripped, articulation reduced to motion constantly punching air. Hours of evaporation under force. Energy, air efficiency. This is not communication, it's kinetic expression. I don't store the rhythm. Black every fresh, that's the more unstable. The first becomes a street, not a state of perception. Number one, but the engine keeps screaming forward until clarity gone forever and only velocity survives.
Velocity without clarity, still clean. They lose the plot, I stay me. Fast don't need to be seen. Velocity without clarity, final mode. They want sense, I want low. No bang. Micro barrage. I don't take the breaks, I flood the lane with compressed aggression syllables. Stacking back to back with no recovery window. Articulation, sprinting ahead of respiration. Long screaming error with cadence. Don't acknowledge it at every phrase. Jam tight like a magazine. Overfilled consonants, biting vowels. Choking them out, clusters collide. Ricochet, rebound, the tongue never resets. It just reloads mid-motion. You trying to catch a bar. I'm already burying the next sentence. Inside it, no space, no silence, no comma to save you. The verses, one continuous shove. Over perception, overwhelmed by velocity, density, weaponized. I don't build momentum, I maintain it at full throttle. Micro barbarage. Don't blink, don't breathe. I stay locked in while they freeze. Too much speed, but I stay clean, control the rush. Dominate the scene, micro barbarage. Press stay tight, they lose form. I stay precise, fast don't scare me, I don't fight. I ride the burst to the end of the night. Still flooding the channel, no space in the loud. Articulation crushing itself to fit more information per second. Syntax, Latin, grammarly remnant. The mouth operating like a bell-fed weapon. Never pausing the cool, the jaw trembling, but ignored. I'm stacking packed on impact. The big gasping on the way to lunch, so delivery you buffer, mentally dropping frames. I don't slow to accommodate. I escalate the barrage further, compressing entire thoughts in a half syllable fragments. The tongue flicking, micro adjustments just to survive the pace. Bread completely disconnected from speech. This ain't rap. This is sustained verbal saturation until the verse collapses and there is so mass. Still in control, they drown in speed. I stay cold, fast get messy when focus fold. I cut straight through, never lose hold. Bold, barrage, find no way. They beg for space, I don't behave. Say, speedy, rest no way. I keep it tight to the system cave.
Calling faster than the mind can index. Recursion spiraling every idea. Calling another idea before the last one. Return articulation racing ahead of comprehension. I'm speaking interrupts. Priorities lost, cues collapsing, words push past. Working memory and spill raw onto the mic. I don't finish thinking I spawn more processes. Clauses nesting inside clauses until the stack scream. Error cadence infuses the heart like you pushing frames through a saturated channel meaning thrash. But velocity survives. I'm not explaining. I'm executing under max.
Slow on the flow. I stay clear. They freeze in the flood. I steer. Too much data, no fear. Engineer, cognitive stack, overflow, hold the line, they crash on. I redesign, pressure,
more threats, more cachet, miss cascade, articulation, free M's, awareness package collide out of order. I'm dumping states without cleanup, no garbage collection, just forward motion. You trying to pause while I ink the next. 5 lines, stack frames, tear, but the clock keeps ticking. Short circle with inflection and the impulse with the flow, errors multiply. Yeah, the rhythm remains deterministic. I don't debug mid-burn, I shoot through failure. Right in the collapse until the verse terminates itself.
overflow, overtime, they crash on. Fast through chaos, I keep it clean, it's just some crap. I need this stack overflow.
No recovery state, I don't bounce back, I don't reset the meter. I just keep stacking velocity on top of fatigue. Articulation already damaged from the last sequence, but I never give it time to heal. The tongue still firing while the jaw lag behind syllables bleeding into each other. But momentum, bulldozer cars, I gotta sit much late to the meeting. But cadence never waits, I'm carrying your nervous forward. Pressure on the top line instead of clearing. You slowing down the cover, I separate to survive. Never really listen, I'm tightening like a ratchet that only turns one way. Recovery state, I don't stall. They need a break, I don't fall. Push that high, I still stand tall. Running straight through, no pause, call. No recovery state, push that high. They catch me, but now I'm high. Still no recovery, articulation, great edges, every weapon, enunciation, barely hold shit, but I refuse to decelerate. I'm dragging the damage with me, weaponizing fatigue, turning slur into text to turn. No safety margin to be keep moving, so I keep dumping output, ignoring the signals. The body sending this is endgame condition. One collapse on the first position. I don't finish fresh
spam attack, particular bug, I syllables stripped to particles. I'm firing raw sound units, no words, no padding, articulation reduced to impulses, tongue tip taps on V, let's not be lofty, yo, pop, exchange and micro sounds faster than semantics, can't assemble, I'm not speaking language, I'm stress testing the mic, consonant clusters colliding, splintering into noise, but cadence stays militant, the beat becomes a firing range, every hit of phenolic discharge, perception overloaded by textual alone.
Funny spam attack, still unclear, they drown in noise. I steer, sound breakdown, but my aim stay here. I carve clean lines, you hear. Funny spam attack, calm and storm, they spray the air. I form too much sound, I transform into the chaos.
I'm rapid succession, no lexical boundary, just impact sequence. Couple collisions, stacking mouth, operating like a drum machine. Gets on max speed, I'm chaining articulators, lips, teeth, tongue, jaw, all firing this synchronously. Yet a line to pull, trying to find words, there are none left, just velocity. I overwhelm, comprehension, my sensory, the channel, meaning, optional rhythm, mandatory, expected, the versions of the scene.
Still intact, they lose the plot. I don't crack, pure sound pressure. Articulation slipping half a frame ahead of the beat while the kick lag behind. I'm talking sideways in time to mouth, not matching the grid. Syllables landed early, late, wrong, but still aggressive. The jaw locked to a tempo, the tongue ignoring it completely. I'm firing phrases misaligned on purpose. Consonants arriving before the count. Vowels dragging behind like aftershock perception. Scrambling to reconcile the mismatch. You full tension, not mistakes. I'm bending time until it's scream but never breaking. Speed the error is stable, it doesn't contention like a tongue doesn't error. I stay aligned, they fall apart. When time unwind, offbeat noise, but my words they find. I lock it in, right in the line. They fight the drift, I intervene. Even split from the metronome screen, I keep control in between. More offset, introduce articulation, drifting further from the pulse, tongue sprinting while the beat stumble the body confused with the cadence and levels. I'm stacking the fires in the rhythm, using the gap as proposing the rhythm for correction. I ride the arrow window, time and elastic, stepping forward, backward, never settling. But the velocity constant, I'm not late, I'm not early, I'm elsewhere. Speaking from a parallel grid, the verse of vibe, because speed never negotiates with order, no. They lose the plot, I stabilize. Time split wide, but I don't slide. I move this fast on both sides. Tongue doesn't error, final form. They call it wrong, I call it norm. Say speed needs sync reform. I stay intact through time and storm.
Mandible lock protocol, edge and a hinge and a constant load. Articulation running at fixed velocity, no variance, allowed the jaw tighten the microspasms for me. But the cadence remain uninterrupted, I'm clamping syllables through resistance. Grinding enamel against tempo, the mouth, the vice, the tongue, a belt forced to move. Even when the muscle beg for release, I don't burst fast, I stay fast. Endurance over spectacle, every bar, another second added to the hold you where it pressing, I feel tension. Accumulating but never expressed, I'm holding it live and speaking through it.
Mandible lock protocol, I stay loose. It doesn't crack, I reduce. Pressurized, but my toes stay smooth. Control, decide who make it through. They fight the strain, I let it go. Speed on me, you gotta choke.
Yeah, lock phase, extended articulation, getting through the team, versatility degraded and criminally, but the album never dip. I read it, empty on compensate, lips assist, teeth, type of cushion to keep motion alive. You guess, but early I'm pacing the pain, stretching seconds in a minute without dropping speed. Not about me, without you. It's about maintenance. Head up the screen for rest, protocol holding to the last syllable land. The releases up.
Mandible lock protocol still intact. They freeze and strain, I adapt before the Mandible test. They bite too hard, I breathe and flex. They flash must hurt, reassess. Stay to show. Let's accept.
Yeah, Michael Ball barrage. Out to the brakes, I flood the lane with compressed aggression. Syllables stacking back to back to back with no recovery window. Articulation, sprint ahead of respiration. I'm screaming error, but cadence don't acknowledge it. Every phrase, jam tight like a magazine. Overfill consonants, biting vowels, choking them out. Clusters collide, ricochet, rebound the tongue. Never reset to just reloads. Mid motion, you tryna catch G-bar. I'm already bearing the next and inside of no space, no silence, no comma to save. If you the verses, one continue. Wish up for perception, more won't bother velocity, density, weaponized. I don't build momentum.
Take me that full micro barbarage. Don't think you don't breathe. I stay alive. It's too much speed, but I stay clean. Control the rush, dominate the scene. Micro barbarage, pressure stay tight. They lose form. I stay precise. Fast don't scare me. I don't fight. I'd rather burst till the end of the night. Still flooding the channel, my space in the loud articulation. Question itself to get more information. Descending syntax, Latin grammar, irrelevant to mouth. I'm a ring like a meltdown weapon. Never pausing the cool, the jaw trembling, but ignored. I'm stacking impact on impact. Further compressing entire thoughts in the half-syllable fragments. The tongue flicking micro adjustments just to survive the pace. Breath completely disconnected from speech. This ain't rap. This is sustained through the saturation until the verse collapses under the sun. Micro barbarage, control, they down in speed. I stay cold, fast getting messy. When focus fold, I cut straight. Never lose hope. Micro barbarage, find a way. They beg for space. I don't behave, say speed need rest. No way, I keep it tight till the system hits.
Shout out to my people from Blocks. Hey, okay. Shout out to my life in the middle with this. From buffer collapse, I speak with movements for courses. Articulation, arriving early like answers without questions. Tongue launching phrases, the brain hasn't cued it. Order inverted, chronology, shot syllables leap. For all intention, I'm saying the end of before the setup. Scramble for reason, perception, for reverse. Blow the mouth, operating in negative latency. Dump a sound ahead of thought. I don't wait for clearance, I preempt the process. Words collide out of sequence, but the cadence don't clear it. Keep driving forward, I'm rapping in futures. The present lag of mine, trying to catch up.
They buffer collapse, still in control. They lose the day. I hold it home, even reverse. I hit the pole. I move as fast and never fold. Buffer collapse, final state. They need the steps, I disappear. I landed clean, though the path unclear. Control the weight when the cause I live.
Empty while I put flood circulation cascading without head. The sentences for me there without region. Once you chasing logic, I delete the cue completely. Compose the air, no translation. Let it be no longer attack. The breath inside, no speed, so forward again. Causality, I'm rapping conclusions. Stack it with four premises. Every form, comprehensive for the reverse engineer. Every bar, but I'm already dumping the next wave. This is the recovery order, what never line up.
Buffer collide, still in control. They lose the day. I hold a hold, even reverse. I hit the goal. I move this fast and never fall. Pre-buffer collapse, final stage. They wait their turn, I predate. Say speed need order, update. I speak there before the gate. Articulation burning, I'm running, I'm out past comfort, past clarity, past the point of penalty. As you know, I survive the tongue overheating, but still executing commands, confidence. I'm a never did. I'll be noticing articulation. I sacrifice, articulation, superset velocity, the jaw. Stiffening microphases, stacking but moment absorbs everything, every phrase shaped into the few more syllables. But second breath detached from speech, let it just move. So occupied with it, pull up the bubble mask. I'm up and running on the next stress, testing language. Past my wearing down, articulation burning. I stay clean, this line right there. I keep it moving, speed ups got me. I run the machine, control it. I still say every word sharp in the overload phase. Still no holding articulation, the better than never. So when you get time, compensating without just sharing the load. They out there, constant and talking through friction. Angels distortion, I'm not surgical. You hear where I hear progress. This condition, like the last running in the mechanisms. The failure points disappear the first. Stretching time, I refusing to stop every second. Another vibration, another layer stripped away. Hit the flow still, razor tight. Breath irrelevant, recovery postponing didn't. I don't finish clean, I finish. Still moving, still moving. Articulation burning, still intact. They knock down quick, I look dead. Fast with control, exact. I stay this shot, don't crack. Articulation burning, final state. They lose their voice, I let them say speak and last. Educate, I keep it burning at max rate.
Ayo, teach it. Yeah. So we on love shut up.
Oxygen is optional, downgraded to accessory status, promoted to primary systems, speaking through deficit breath, give intentionally syllables, prioritized over survival, the tongue taking over vital functions, articulation running on emergency reserve, shot on inhale, I ration, millisecond stack phrases, better back like air, don't matter the chest burning, but irrelevant, I'm optimizing, now move a second, that is physiology, lag behind performance, you hear urgency, I hear efficiency, every bar, trigger restoration, the beat still moving, so I keep transmitting.
Oxygen is optional, I stay calm.
Oxygen is optional, pace intact. Fast don't need fail, just fast. Largest in the oxygen that climbing articulation. Put a needle between blackout and outward, I'm talking on fumes. Self-sustaining breath, come late words, come early. Everything averted, but momentum preserve you buffering mentally. Asking how I'm still moving, I've decoupled speech. From air supply to mouth, the machine, the rhythm, the fuel. I don't stop to recover, I push to the sentence end. The body catching up, later.
Oxygen is optional, still good side. This ain't a smoke, I don't sacrifice me, don't own me, I advise. I keep it clean at any price.
Oxygen is optional.
Final say, they need air, I find a way.
Say fast, can't live.
Okay, I prove control when breath delay.
Hey, this make phone me spam attack.
Phone me spam attack, pataka syllables, stripped the particles, I'm fighting raw. Sound units, no words, no padding, articulation, reduced impulses, tongue tip, taps, LV, response, spill a VU, pops, vela kicks, chanting micro sounds faster than semantics, can assemble, I'm not speaking language, I'm stress testing them out, consonant clusters, colliding, spinning in the noise, but cadences, militant, the beat becomes a fighting range, every hit of a neck, discharge, perception overloaded by texture alone.
Phone me spam attack, still I'm clear. They drown in noise, I steer. Sound break down, but my aim stay here. I carve clean lines, you hear. Phone me spam attack, calm and storm, they spray the air I form. Too much sound, I transform. Control the chaos, keep it warm. Control the chaos, keep it warm. Control the chaos, keep it warm.
More phone moves, no rap succession, no lexical boundary, just impacts and fixes. Stuck up a collision, stacking mouth operating like a drum machine. Glitched on max speed, I'm chaining articulators, lips, teeth, tongue, jaw, firing as synchronously. Yet a line to pulse, you trying to find words, there are none left, just velocity. And it takes in the 10 overwhelm comprehension by saturating the channel, meaning optional rhythm, mandatory. The spam continues till the verse exhausts the signal.
Phone me spam attack,
Yeah.
still intact.
Yeah.
They lose the plot on crack.
Yeah.
Pure sound pressure, exact. I make it musical, not slack. Focus spam attack. Final say they call it noise, I call it play. Say speed need words, no way.
No way, no way. No way, no way.
Homie spam attack.
No way, no way. So sad. Bread debt accumulation, spending oxygen before it's earned. I'm overdrafting lungs articulation. Running credit to balance, negative early words. Sprint out unpaid interest, compounding every bar. Skip recovery, stack velocity like liabilities. Cadence ruthless, I don't pause to settle accounts. I defer it, tongue a turbine, jaw locked in rotation. Syllables issue faster than respiration. Can authorize you hear urgency. I feel leverage every phrase, another loan against silence. The beat keeps time, I keep borrowing from tomorrow. No gap, no mercy, the deck keeps climbing and I'm still talking. Yeah.
Debt accumulation, calming control. They gas for air, I manage the load. I pace the fire, I don't implode. I keep it clean while the pressure grows. Debt accumulation, eyes forward clear. They spend too fast, I engineer. When oxygen thin, I'm still sincere. Control pays interest, fear don't hear.
Interest spike, breath, debt ballooning, articulation, cutting corners, lungs offline, but the cadence keeps authorizing more output. I'm refining in seconds, shaving milliseconds to stay liquid. Words collateralized by grit, I don't slow to repay. I roll the balance forward, the sentence never ends. Clauses, pile of penalties, accrue tongue buzzing, heat rising, jaw fatigue. Ignore the fall imminent, but I accelerate to outrun it. I weaponize arrears, let pressure carry momentum until the verse closes with nothing left to bar.
Voice on track. Red debt accumulation, final call. They suffocate quick, I stand tall. Say speed needs air, not at all. I pay it back with control, not fall. Only pay this baby, every baby, it looks on me.
No recovery state, I don't bounce back, I don't reset the meter. I just keep stacking velocity on top of fatigue. Articulation, I damage from the last sequence, but I never give it time to hear the tongue still firing. What a jaw like behind, syllables bleed each other, but momentum bulldoze the flaws. Breath that I sink lungs, late to the mean, but cadence never waste of carrying errors forward. Letting pressure multiply instead of clearing it. You slowing down to recover, accelerate to survive. Every bar compounds the strain, the verse never releases tension. It just keeps tightening like a ratchet that only turns one way.
Know it, know it, know it, know it, know it, know it. Stay, I don't stop, they need a break. I don't fall, pressure stack high, I still stand tall. I run it straight through, no balls cold. Know it, recovery, stay pace, stay live. They crash, mid run, I don't stop. Speed stay clean while the system shock. Control don't fall when the body knocks. No.
Still no recovery, articulation, frayed edges, everywhere pronunciation, barely holding shape, but I refuse to decelerate. I'm dragging the damage with me, weaponizing fatigue, turning slurring the texture, turning strain into thrust them out, functioning past recommended limits. Every phrase stacked on unresolved, stress from the last one, no cooldown window, no safety margin. The beat keep moving, so I keep dumping output, ignoring the signals the body sending. This is endgame conditioning when collapse. Don't end the verse, it fuels it. I don't finish fresh, I finish empty. Still firing.
No recovery, stay still precise. They brain quick, I don't twice. I stay composed at any price. I move this fast with no device. No recovery, stay final frame. They need relief, I stay the same. Say speed need a rest, we claim. I close it out in a constant flame.
Tongue to sing error, articulation, slipping half a frame ahead of the beat. While the kick lag behind, I'm talking sideways in time to mouth. Not matching the grid, syllables landing early, late wrong, but still aggressive. The jaw locked to a tempo, the tongue ignoring it completely. I'm firing phrases misaligned on purpose, consonants arriving before the count. Vowels dragging behind like aftershocks. Perception scrambling to reconcile the mismatch. Equal tension, not mistakes. I'm bending time until it's scream, but never breaking speed. The error is stable, the death's intentional.
I stay aligned,
They fall apart. One time unwind.
off the noise, but my voice stay fine. control in between, yeah. More offset introduced, articulation drifting further from the pulse. Tongue sprinting while the beat stumble, the body confused, but the cadence relentless. I'm stacking misfires in the rhythm, using the gap as propulsion. You waiting for correction, I widen the arrow window, time and elastic, snapping forward, backward, never settling. But the velocity constant, I'm not late, I'm not early, I'm elsewhere, speaking from a parallel grid. The verse of Bobby, cause speed never negotiates with order. Tongue doesn't error, still precise, they lose the plot, I stabilize, time split wide, but I don't slide. I move this fast, I both side, final form, they call it wrong, I call it norm. Say speed needs sync reform, I stay intact through time and storms. Time and sync error.
Bread that accumulation, spending oxygen before it's earned. I'm overdrafting lungs, articulation running credit. The balance negative, early words print out unpaid interest, compounding every bar, skip recovery, stack velocity like liabilities. Cadence ruthless, I don't pause to settle accounts, I defer. Tongue the turbine, jaw locked in rotation, syllables issue faster than respiration can authorize. You hear urgency, I feel leverage, every phrase another loan against silence. The beat keeps time, I keep borrowing from tomorrow. No gap, no mercy, the deck keeps climbing, yeah. And I'm still talking.
Bread that accumulation, calm and control. They gasp for air, I manage the load. I pace the fire, I don't implode. I keep it clean while the pressure grows. Breath that accumulation, eyes forward clear. They spin too fast, I engineer. When oxygen thin, I'm still sincere. Control pays interest, fear don't hear.
Interest spike, breath that ballooning, articulation cutting corners, lungs offline, but cadence keeps authorizing more output. I'm refining some seconds, shaving milliseconds to stay liquid words, collateralized by grit. I don't slow to repay. I roll the balance forward, the sentence never ends. Clauses, power penalties, accrued tongue, buzzing heat, rising jaw fatigue, ignore default imminent, but I accelerate to outrun it. I weaponize arrears, let pressure carry momentum until the verse closes with nothing left to borrow.
Breath that accumulation, still intact. They crash on due dates, I plan exact. I don't overspend, I don't retract. I keep my pace and my voice on track. Breath that accumulation, final call. They suffocate quick, I stand tall. Say speed needs air, not at all. I pay it back with control, not fall. Articulation burning, I'm running the mouth past comfort, past clarity, past the point where pronunciation normally survive a tongue overheating, but still executing commands, consonants, grinding enamel vowels, thinning, evaporating under pressure. Yeah, the cadence never dips, I don't save articulation. I sacrifice articulation to protect velocity. The jaw stiffening, microfailure stacking, but momentum absorbs everything. Every phrase shaped thinner to fit more syllables per second. Breath detached from speech entirely. The beat still moving, so I keep firing dance on uninterrupted verbal mass like the mouth and left on. Overnight stress testing language until the parts start wearing down. Articulation burning, I stay clean. They slur and break, I keep it mean. Speed don't scare me, I run the machine. Control the heat, maintain the stream. Articulation burning, no decay. They fade out fast, I don't fret. When mouths give up, I still say every word sharp in the overload phase. Still no cool down, articulation degraded but never